Hello, 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 and welcome to the stream. Today we're playing AI Dungeon on Steam. Yes, that's right. We have the AI Dungeon Steam release finally here, and now we get to actually try it out, see what it's like. Of course, I have the subscription, so I have access to kind of these like higher fidelity models, but when you play it on Steam, what you get for free, or but not for free, but get with the purchase, you can't hear me. Oh, I think you're talking to chat. I think you can hear me. And what you get with what you get with like a higher fidelity plan, where you can like use the Dragon AI, doesn't necessarily happen. And oh, hello, Rains. I will get in there in a little bit. I'm just kind of introducing the concept. I'll definitely hop into Discord so we can kind of chat through this. But I want people to kind of see AI Dungeon and see what happens here, especially for the VOD. People kind of want to know what's going on. Hi, Catspur. Nice to see you. So yeah, so this is $30 on Steam right now, and you can have AI Dungeon and unlimited access to the Griffin model to kind of play the game and figure out what's happening. I do want to quickly thank you guys. We have 3 likes before the stream even started. Every single time someone likes the video, it kind of helps me in the YouTube algorithm, and I appreciate every single one of you who are here right now and everyone who liked the stream. So if you kind of look at it, it looks like it does in AI Dungeon right now. When you click the game, it actually looks the same as the browser. Oh my god, we have 7 people watching and we jumped from 3 to 7 likes. That's amazing. Every single one of you, thank you so much. It really means the world. I can't, that's 100% conversion rate. I can't believe that happened. I'm amazed. Reviews on Steam are mixed. Yeah, the reviews on Steam are not great. The conversation on Reddit is not great. And thank you, Red. Congrats on 700 subs, he says. Yeah, I kind of sped run, so we like hit 500 subs. I posted that last video and started zooming through the ranks. It's like it got 5,000 views in in a week or so, and it's like just exponential growth. I love to see it, and I am working on a video right now, kind of about that Catspur, about the reviews on Steam being a little bit, well, not awesome. And basically saying, oh yeah, AI Dungeon reviews or AI Dungeon is getting roasted on Steam reviews. And I'll kind of go through what are the problems with this, but I kind of wanted to give you all a chance to kind of just see what it's like and experience AI Dungeon on Steam, and we'll see how it all looks. So here, of course, you have kind of the similar concepts. You can quick start, you can continue, you can do multiplayer games, you can go to worlds, discover other games, or discover the kind of within the community, and you could actually open up Voyage within this browser. I can't actually show you that without messing with my stream settings, but that's kind of it. Country balls and stuff. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. We're just kind of getting started here on AI Dungeon. So yeah, it's just like normal, and you get a chance to actually play a sparrow on the Discord. That's what Yakuza asked. I'm not sure. Custom. Yeah, let's do a custom game and kind of set up a scenario here, and then we'll get Kylie in the stream after I kind of get this started. But before we do, I just want to show you, since the last time I've made a video on AI Dungeon, the settings have been revamped, and it's so nice to be able to like control settings while you're here. Specifically, control the display settings. You can control the text size, and you can see it happen. That's incredible. You actually like can watch this go. All right, I'll stop warping this in and out. But yeah, I don't actually know what I want. Probably like there. I want it to be big enough that you guys can see, but not too big that you can't read very much. Serif this or mono. I kind of like mono as a concept, but again on stream I feel like this is easiest to read. Yeah, there's a few. I think this is the one I like the most as far as like what it looks like. Full width. Ooh, fancy. Turn auto line break on. I will not subject you guys to light mode. I know I'm clicking all the settings, but light mode does not seem worth it. And you have all the buttons down here, just like normal, and you can still control them. So you can like move this one over. So now that the undo and redo are in the wrong places, I'm gonna put that back. But yeah, that's kind of one of the exciting things. And you can constantly see what model you're on. And for this video or for this stream, right, I am going to really only use this Griffin model because this is the one that you can use unlimitedly with the Steam release. And to be able to, like, that's actually really rare in any AI experience to be able to pay for it once and then actually use it forever. And whether that's worth $30 is another question, but I think it's really cool to be able to do this. So today we're going to be using only Griffin, so you guys can see it's not as good as a lot of the AI dungeon scenarios that I make on this channel because I tend to use the Dragon AI, but Griffin is still an impressive model that you can really have fun with. I'm just going to set up a little scenario and then I will bring Rainsmoose on here as well, and we'll kind of chat through the game a little bit. But what do I want to do? I think I had some concept. Yeah, you are stuck in the bottom of a well. You're stuck in the bottom of a well. Screaming, hoping that someone comes to rescue you. Thanks for posting the Discord channel, Yakuza. Anyone who wants to join the Discord, absolutely go ahead. We're a really friendly and open community. Can you have AI-generated games? I think Voyage has something in that vein of all the games are AI-generated, but not exactly like click a button and you just get a game that is AI-generated. That's a little bit beyond the scope of what AI is capable of, though there is kind of that OpenAI has codecs where you can type things out and actually get code. You're stuck in the bottom of the well, screaming, hoping that someone comes to rescue you. You are about to give up when suddenly... The other thing that comes with this model, or with this change, is actually you get access to a lot of these advanced settings that normally on the free version of AI Dungeon you just can't go to. So in the model, where is this setting? Oh, advanced, just like scroll down on the model page and you get this. Let me actually join Discord and see. AO Sparrow does have a prompt you could use in the AI text channel for the future. Alrighty. I will definitely kind of get to that. But right now I think this stream is going to be really focused on AI Dungeon. Hello, 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 Rainsmoose. I can give you a moment to mute stream so you don't have to... Ah, perfect, perfect. So, yeah, this is AI Dungeon. Should I share here too? I turned on like ultra low latency, so maybe it actually looks fine as far as like how late it is, but I just clicked on story and now I started typing and you can kind of see how that goes. That's not that bad, okay. Entirely tolerable, perfect. So yeah, let's kind of read whatever Griffin came up with from my prompt. So you're stuck in the bottom of a well, screaming, hoping that someone comes to rescue you. You're about to give up, when suddenly the ground starts moving. Dirt is being pushed up towards you. You try to dig your way out, and you're unable to move. The dirt has reached your waist and is starting to fill your lungs. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's not giving you much of a chance. Timmy fell down the well. Lassie! Yeah, let's call upon the genie. Upon the genie by rubbing the magic lamp and asking for your final wish. All right, yes. Now we are playing AI Dungeon. It's incredible. This is the game. Do you we'll let it keep generating because it seems to have a plan. Okay. Do you? The dirt is up to your chest now. Let's undo and redo this one because I think it was a little bit too crazy. But yeah, that's the other thing is now everyone playing AI Dungeon gets AI Dungeon 2D. So these pictures are like stuck in the bottom of the well. Like this looks kind of like a miner or something, but still on par with what you might be looking for. Dig down and dig into lava, classic Minecraft. You call upon the genie by rubbing the magic lamp and asking for your final wish. You're still trapped at the bottom of the well with no hope of rescue. You are left on your own to die. It really thinks we're gonna die. And that's kind of the thing with this model. It kind of makes a plan and you can't really do it. But let's say, oh, great and powerful genie, would you please move me safely out of this forsaken realm? This forsaken place. Realm doesn't seem correct. We're just at the bottom of a well. That's not like another world. And the problem with AI Dungeon that deeply annoys me is that the random AI just throws in the end sometimes randomly. Oh, that's a pain. Yeah. That's kind of one of the things about Griffin is it's kind of unfortunate. I personally use max response length, sometimes it does better when it generates more. Yeah, we can absolutely increase the length. We have advanced settings on the Steam version, so this is totally an option. I'm going to not do quite max. I'm going to go up to 80, and we'll see how that looks kind of going forward. The genie smiles as he rubs the magic lamp and replies, as you wish. The ground starts moving and continues moving. So what happens? We click generate again. Sometimes even, oh wait, or it'll give you what looks like author's notes as a response and sometimes even web address links in them. That's funny. Soon you're on the ground, just a few feet from the edge of the pit. You have survived. A few hours later, you are back in your bedroom, in the palace, safe and sound. Your parents and friends congratulate you on your safety. You tell them the genie who helped you grant your wish also gave you a few other surprises. Well, we're going to tell them. The first surprise is that I'm actually rich now. I didn't used to be a prince. I didn't used to be a prince. But everything has changed thanks to the genie. This genie can make me a prince, I've decided. Yeah, it does kind of crazy things, doesn't it? Your friends and parents are happy to hear this, but you notice that your mom is a little sad and your dad looks a little uncomfortable. Your mother finally speaks up. I'm sorry, but I need to be honest with you. You wait expectantly, trying not to get impatient. I'm not sure I like the way things turned out. Oh. Are you mad that I'm a prince and you're still a peasant? No, I'm just trying to understand why she might be mad. You say, are you mad that I'm a prince and you're still a peasant? Your mother and father look at each other worriedly. They don't like the turn of this conversation, but they need to say something. Your father speaks up. Well, we never liked the peasant lifestyle anyway. We've always wanted you to be something else. And that's why I am a prince now. Uh, I am going to be the next king. Didn't you always want a better life for me? uh, and for the YouTube Shorts thing, you could upload clips to Shorts, like funny moments or insane moments. Yeah, we'll see if we get any insane moments. It's quite possible. Why doesn't YouTube have the option to turn Shorts off? Are you getting annoyed by the Shorts tab on your phone? Just like being so persistent and in your face? You say, and that's why I'm a prince now. I'm going to be the next king. Didn't you always want a better life for me? Your father starts to say something, but your mother beats him to it. Well, of course. That's why we sent you to school, to become something great. You're shocked by what your parents just said. You never knew they wanted you to become something other than a prince. You think back to your childhood days when you would play make-believe with your friends. Oh, I just can't wait to be king. Long live the king. Thanks, Farah. Yeah. Let's keep this rolling. So, suddenly, story mode. Suddenly, the moment you imagine or the moment you think back to your childhood, a tiny wizard appears and casts a spell, sending you back in time. You got to embrace the crazy. Catsper says, can you play a civilization in AI Dungeon? Yeah, you kind of can. You can kind of just be you can kind of be in charge, or you could say, and Europe does, you could be in story mode and kind of do the things that Europe does. And so Europe diverts oil from this area to this area, and you can just kind of like do those things. And if you can talk about it in the third person and you can kind of play it out in words, AI Dungeon supports it, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. Like the unlimited potential of things you're able to do. Suddenly, the moment you think back to your childhood, a tiny wizard appears and casts a spell, sending you back in time. You're sent all the way back to before your parents sent you to school. You are sent to a small village where the people are just barely surviving. The wizard tells you that you are to become the leader of this village and make the people there happy. You are to improve their lives in any way you see fit. You wish civilization was just like a mode you could be in AI Dungeon. Yeah, you can kind of imagine how that might be possible. I think that's Voyage, Catsper. I think there's a game that is AI Dungeon Civ mode, and it kind of coordinates all of that for you. And whether like you end up making it or somebody else ends up making it, I think it kind of is pretty possible. You said AI World? Now I'm confused. When did you say that? You can explain in a little bit. I'm going to go back to AI Dungeon. Yeah, this wizard sent us to like control a village. All right. Tell the villagers. This is something we do. We tell the villagers. AI Dungeon with a world map. Ooh, that could be cool. Yeah. Tell the villagers that they need to grant, or they need to supply, no, they need to send me taxes. And I will pay to make their town good. You tell the villagers that they need to send taxes and that you will pay to make their town good. You are shocked how well your plan is working. you get a lot of positive reactions from the villager. They are sending you their taxes without a problem. The wizard also told you you could come and go on your own personal time. You don't have to stay in the past. The next week goes by, and the taxes keep coming in. You're getting so rich. You travel back to the future, like the wizard says, but you bring all the money with you. I always mention something and you don't remember. Oh, you always mention that and you don't remember. Yeah, I just like, I'm like kind of on the one stream at a time chat basis. And so when you say, I said something, I kind of imagine you said it like just a few minutes ago, not like in general. You travel back in the future and you're happy to see that all the taxes have been paid and you have made the future much better. Oh, everyone seems happy. There are no wars, no hunger, no violence. You walk up to the peasants and ask how they're doing, and they seem very happy. Somehow, they recognize you from the village you came from. Oh my god, we're famous now. Ooh, we hit an 8th like. I think we went back in time, or I don't think we did it. I think the tiny wizard did it. Tiny wizard had the true activity that made this happen. We just asked for money and somehow that seemed to work. We did just hit an 8th like on the video, and I want to call out every single like on the stream helps us in the eyes of the YouTube algorithm, or if that's a lie and it doesn't actually help us, it makes me feel better. So I like to call it out every single time I see one. So thank you for, and as I say that, I feel like this happens every time and maybe I should learn better. But while I was talking, we hit a 9th like on the video. Thank you so much for liking the video. I really do appreciate every single one of you who are just here watching, and especially those of you who found it in your hearts to hit that blue thumbs up button. Hell yeah. Hit that thumbs up. Smash it. You get it, you get it. I imagine most of the people watching are subscribed, but if you're not, you know, that's the thing to do. Absolutely. I'm so glad we solved world peace. Hey Glimetry, how's it going? Hi Carlos Magnus. It's going pretty well. We are playing AI Dungeon on the Steam version, and Griffin is kind of working. It's pretty crazy, and you kind of have to know that's what you're expecting, right? I think you can't expect it to be perfect, but the idea that you have unlimited Griffin is super nice. Like, not having to run into an ad or like have energy recharge, and to just be able to play the game as much as you want, like, takes a lot of the stress off, and it makes it just like, oh, now I'm just playing AI Dungeon, and it's not like, oh, some big recurring payment and some painful scenario. It's just like having fun, which I appreciate. You travel back to the future, you're not happy to see the taxes. Oh, this is where we left off. Yeah, so we, the tiny wizard brought us to the future again, and we solved world hunger. Let's go talk to the wizard about your accomplishments. By lowering the top P parameter, maybe it'll be better. Yeah, let's kind of like talk through these different settings really quickly. So, oh, is this me? Do I have this set really? So top P at 95 is the default. Affects the randomness of the AI. Higher values mean more randomness. And so if we want something that's potentially more coherent, we could lower it. There's a problem with that, is that more coherent often creates repetition. So you end up getting something over and over and over again. I'm just gonna bring this down to 0.9, and I have a guess that if I just clicked continue here, not that we necessarily need to keep this, that we'd end up getting 2 sentences that are the same. I'm not sure. I don't know for sure. Oh, well. All right, the wizard tells you that the villagers are so happy that they didn't want any more money, so they want you to stay and rule over them. They have a ceremony where you're crowned as their king, and you marry a woman of your choice. You think back to your childhood fantasy of becoming a superhero. But you know that this is the role you were meant to play. You look through books on magical creatures, and you find something totally new. Can you generate a map in an image generator? Yeah, it kind of works. I've done a few of them. Were you able to try out Stable Diffusion? Initially, it was only to the early members, but I think they opened it now to everyone on the server. I haven't seen that it was open to everyone now. It's still like on beta people rather than everyone ever. And so if I go to their like dream things, I can quickly show it on stream. Wait. And then I have to go like transition. You kind of see that I can't actually like you see you can't type in these. I think it's still on like beta members. All right, I think I'm back to showing AI Dungeon again. I think I handled that. Yeah, so the randomness down kind of switched the story. I just made it different. I'm going to retry again in case it can continue, but it just kind of, it probably, like, this could be just like training model. Oh, we got the dreaded the end. You think back to your childhood fantasy of becoming a superhero, but you know that this role is the one you're meant to play. You can't wait to see what the future will bring. The end. Classic. Honestly, yeah, this story kind of had a whole flow. I don't hate it. We could just kind of move on, but we could try. We'll play a scenario where the randomness is just down. Kylie, why don't you go ahead and pick? So we could go custom again, but I don't think I've seen most of these before, but you're not super familiar with the default game mode. So maybe we could do something that you find fun. So there's fantasy, zombies. All right. In zombies, you can play as one of three people. You can play as the survivor, the soldier, or the scientist. What would you like to do? Become a zombie. A scientist. Perfect. What is your character's name? Is Griffin Hydra free unlimited or just regular Griffin? I'm pretty sure it's just regular Griffin. I'm not 100% sure on that. Again, I have the subscription, so from my screen, it looks like I can do everything. So maybe someone in chat has a better answer on that. Kylie, your character's name. I'm ready for you. Melisande. Did I spell that reasonably? With two A's? I don't know. Melisand. Melisande. Beautiful. All right. Generating the story of Melisande. I'm impressed that was the first name that came to your head. You are Melisande, a scientist trying to survive in a world filled with infected zombies everywhere. You have a backpack and a solar-powered tablet. You pound your fist on the table and that you still haven't found the cure to the infection. You turn to your assistant and yell, "I hate zombies." The assistant, a young woman with long brown hair and glasses, doesn't answer. She doesn't answer you. She stares at you in awe. You wonder why you hired her. You keep walking through the zombie-infested streets of the city, searching for the CDC. And now you have the option to say, do, or enact anything you'd like. All right. You arrive at the CDC and... Are you going to do something? Inquire about the cure. You are going to save humanity in no time, I'm sure of it. Zombies that are intelligent and can speak like in the Marvel comics, or like me, or like me, name the character Alepetus, or like me, the resurrected mix of Charlemagne and Michael Collins in one body. You walk into the CDC and find it abandoned by its staff. The CDC had been overrun by zombies not once, but twice. The first attack occurred a few days after the outbreak. You can only imagine how many people died in that first few days. The second attack occurred only a few days ago, after you had already left the city. The zombies had been driven away by some unknown force. Dun dun dun. By the way, CDC is in Atlanta, Georgia, but I don't know if the AI's version is there. Yeah, are we in Atlanta? Who's to say? The zombie outbreak in Atlanta. It's decided. All right. The zombies have been driven away by some unknown force. What would you call an unknown forceonometer? Because I'm just going to, like, detect it. Perfect. Unknown forceonometer. You pull out your unknown forceonometer so that you can detect and learn about the unknown force. Easy. What? AI Dungeon and Google haven't learned about unknown forceonometers? Wow, they're really behind the times. Unknown. I really tried to fix that spelling. I don't know where the N came from. I like right-clicked and corrected it. You pull out your trusty unknown forceonometer and turn it on. A few seconds later, the device emits a loud buzz and flashes a few different colors. Interesting, you say. The second you finish saying that, the unknown forceonometer stops working. What happened? You ask your assistant. Okay, well, I need to know what the assistant thinks happened. Supernatural forces. I have a villain that can sort of create zombies. It's called Bloody Bones. I don't know, the assistant replies. Why did we hire this assistant? He or she seems useless. You walk over to the device and find that the power is no longer flowing into the machine. This is strange, you say. Then a loud, booming voice fills the room. Hey, Melissa, have you tried the pizza bar yet? I imagine that's just like coming over the announcements and it wasn't directed at us. But we will go ahead and that's not my name. Who are you talking to? They're obviously talking to Melissa, but you know. I want to know who and where Melissa is. Hey, Melissa, have you tried the pizza bar yet? The booming voice continues. You turn around to see a tall, dark-skinned man standing behind you. He's wearing a long black robe with a hood over his head. I'm not Melissa, you say. Who are you? The intercom draws every zombie for miles around that heard it. The end. I am the ghost of the vampire lore chamber, the man says in his deep, booming voice. You know, I have been making this voice not deep or booming, and I recognize that it was a loud, booming voice, and I just made it silly and weird, but I hope no one's too mad. And actually, I nailed the ghost voice, you know? Before I knew it was a ghost. Okay, so who's Melissa? The real questions, you know? You're making the cultist sound like You're making the cultist sound like a character from Sesame Street, like the cult of the Eternals pizza bar. Yeah, it sounds about right. the the ghost of the vampire lore chamber. The ghost of the vampire lore chamber stares at you menacingly. He then begins to laugh a very sinister laugh. Oh, I get it. You're Melissa. And you're talking to yourself. That's a little weird. My guy. Oh, I get it. You're Melissa. And you're talking to yourself. That's a little weird, my guy. I am the ghost of the vampire lore chamber. He continues to laugh at you. So, you're going to tell me who you are, you ask? Ironically, because he has only said it 3 times already. Hey man, I am just looking for the cure to the zombie apocalypse. Apocalypse. I get there in the end. Are you gonna help me or not? We'll see if we can salvage this. The ghost of the vampire lore chamber finally stops laughing. He begins to speak again. Escaped mental patient sets the zombie apocalypse in motion in his quest for pizza. Yeah, that seems to be what's going on. If you want to find a cure, you'll have to set the temples alight. I don't understand. What are you talking about? To find a cure, you'll have to send the temples alight. You light a match and put it up to the man's temples, trying to burn him. We'll see how that goes. You light a match and hold it up to the vampire lore's temples, trying to set him ablaze. Don't try to trick me, you say. You say. I am not an idiot. Just set the temples alight. You comply, setting the man on fire. Temples first. I guess it's clear that he understands. Also, the fact that AI Dungeon 2D has an image of a vampire lore and a hero holding a match up to his temples where the vampire lore guy is on fire, that's like so much. There's just so many images, you know? You comply, setting the man on fire, temples first. You light the match and set the vampire lore charmer ablaze. He turns around and looks at you in shock. You think he is about to tell you something, but before he can say anything else, the flames engulf him and he explodes into ashes. You say, "Whoa, that was weird." You stare at the ashes of the vampire Lord Charmer. Oh my god. Is that the cure? I think we found it. Catspur, I was in the bathroom. You know that I'm watching Spy vs. Family. Valid, valid. You decide to get some food. You walk over to the pizza bar. You walk into the pizza bar and you see dozens of people sitting and talking. Oh my god, what a place. You walk up to the counter and ask the cashier if they have any food. That is just not related at all to what I said, and I think it's worth a refresh. I know the pizza bar exists in this story, but it's not the point of what we're... Oh, did we become the... I'm not sure, but I guess we'll find out, you say, and continue to explore the CDC. You find an elevator and ride out to the top of the building. From up here, you can see the entire city. You see a massive army of zombies wandering down below you. Okay, now what? Well, isn't it obvious? I'm hoping it's obvious. We'll see, though. Well, it's not that obvious, your assistant replies. I'm going to fly the helicopter over the city. I'm still here, your assistant says. Yeah, but you're not moving. Well, what do you want me to do? Okay, it's time. Get me a helicopter! You freaking idiot. Yeah. How did this assistant not already go get me the helicopter? Okay, I'm getting you a helicopter, your assistant says. Great. A helicopter lands in the middle of the city and a man steps out of it. He looks around and calls out, "Any survivors?" "Yeah, but there's a scientist over here who can cure the zombie virus," you say. "I'm not a zombie." Oh, well, that's good. They have a hospital helicopter on fire. That's like a lot of pieces that are happening right now that there's an image for. I'm constantly impressed. There's just like constantly been an image that like works. I'm not a zombie. You gesture to the city full of zombies and say, "But they are. And you have a helicopter. We are going to spray them with the ashes of this dead man." That's how you cure zombieism, yeah. Quite obviously, yes, absolutely. "Oh, I don't think so," the man says. "Please, I need to get to the top of this building. You can't get the cure if I'm stuck on the ground." The man sighs. "Fine, follow me." He leads you to the back of the helicopter and you climb in. "You drive," he says. I don't actually know which person says "you drive," but I find it hilarious. I drive? "Yeah, you drive," the man says. "It's on the roof." Okay. You climb onto the roof of the helicopter. Now we're the dumbass. You look around and see a keyboard on the dashboard. Hurry up, we don't have a lot of time. Hang on. Hang on real quick. I'm learning how to fly a helicopter. Yeah, like, Griffin is good. I feel like there's a sentiment that Griffin is, like, sucks, and it's just not true. Griffin lets you play AI Dungeon in as much detail as you want to. What you need Dragon for is if you're trying to do something that you want impressive text for, right? Like, it stays relevant and stays on top of things, but Griffin is fun and, you know, interesting and keeps things alive. Oh, we hit 10 likes, by the way. I like to call out the likes in the video, and so thank you for the... Oh, joke's on me. Thank you for the 11th like on the video. It's much appreciated. Oh, valid. See you in a moment. I'll keep this story going. But yeah, no, Griffin has done some, like, is a pretty impressive model for playing AI Dungeon. It's like everything you need to have an AI Dungeon story. And it's just the dragon is far and away more impressive because you're able to do so much with it. Is Griffin Hydra unlimited on Steam? Yeah, I'm not sure about the answer to that for sure. I'm pretty sure it's not. And I'm not really sure why it's not, because as far as like the model requirements, Griffin and Griffin Hydra are kind of the same, but I'm not sure. Country balls and stuff, what's happening? It's not. Thanks, Alexis, for confirming. Yeah, so it's just Griffin that comes with the Steam version unlimited, and Hydra you need to have a subscription for. Country balls and stuff, and you're back. What's happening? So yeah, we are playing this zombie scenario, and we've had some crazy moments. So let's kind of just like recap a little bit and give people a chance to see what happens. So we're Melisande. Well, yeah, we're Melisande. Is that why they thought we were Melissa? That makes sense. So yeah, we are Melisande, a scientist in the zombie apocalypse. We went to the CDC to try to find a cure. Instead of finding a cure, we found a very spooky ghost that was actually just a guy, and he pretended to be the ghost of the vampire lore charmer. Did I say chamber like 6 times and the word is charmer? I'm now, I was confused by that like phrase for a long time, and now I kind of get it. Yeah, but it makes a little more sense than chamber. A charmer is like almost a job, like that's my thing, you know, whereas a chamber is I am a place. Yeah, so we found this vampire lore charmer, which I guess is a thing, a ghost of a vampire lore charmer, and he basically reintroduced himself like 6 times, and when we forced him to kind of tell us what a cure was, because what are you doing in the CDC, he says, to find the cure, you'll have to set the temples alight. And you light a match and hold it up to his temples. And like, are you sure this is what you want? And he's like, yeah, to find the cure, just set the temples alight. So we set the man on fire, temples first, because that seemed like the only possible approach that made any sense at all. And then he got lit on fire, and you look into the ashes, and oh my god, is that the cure? And we're not sure it's the cure, but we're kind of rolling with it. And so we're basically going to get up in a helicopter and toss the ashes out into the city and hopefully end the zombie apocalypse. We're not sure it's going to work, but it's worth a try, don't you think? Yeah, no, I think it's valid. I think this can happen. So that's pretty much where we are now. We just got in a helicopter. We don't know how to drive a helicopter, and this guy's explaining it to us. Hang on real quick. I'm learning to fly a helicopter. So while we're learning, we go ahead and press the keyboard, and the set of buttons on the dashboard begin to light up. The man presses a few keys, and the helicopter rotors turn on. Mind you, we're on the roof of this helicopter right now. We are not doing this correctly. I don't think can be stubborn. Yeah, but that's half the fun, you know? Being a little stubborn is kind of kind of like, oh, you kind of have to kick it a little until you end up doing the weird thing that you're trying to do. And this is the Griffin model again. So this is the model that comes unlimited with the Steam version, and it's not awesome, right? So we're not going on like the largest slow model that you don't necessarily need to retry very often, but is just like really good and creates interesting prose like every single time. Wyvern is kind of that combination, and I think Wyvern would probably be a better model for AI Dungeon to have made unlimited as far as like the gameplay experience, because I think it is like more of the thing. But Griffin is definitely like, this is very true to AI Dungeon and the feeling you would typically try to go for, and it's fun. I think I think I'm enjoying it. Kylie, do you think it's interesting as someone who probably doesn't play as much AI Dungeon as me? Like, you still get to kind of like play out a world in however you want to. It's just a little world, a little weird. I hope they add more to the Steam version. Yeah, Alexis, I absolutely agree. I think what probably should have happened is the AI Dungeon version should have come with something along the lines of like medieval problems, but for a like role play scenario. So like you're playing as a person, and you can kind of like take more limited actions, but it's like high quality responses every single time, and it just like stays on track and lets you kind of do things, and you kind of like build out a character over time, and you can kind of go in several different ways. There should have been like some unique scenario that was very AI Dungeon feeling that was exclusive to Steam, because I think that would have made the purchase worth it. I think, yeah, you kind of just get access to the browser and then access to Griffin forever. But that for $30, just, I don't think, in the eyes of people buying the game, feels super worth it. And AI Dungeon's getting kind of roasted in Steam reviews because people don't want to pay $30 for an ad-free experience when like any other game to remove ads is somewhere between what, like 99 cents and maybe $5 on the extreme end. And at that point, and normally it comes with like another, like, oh, any in-app purchase comes with no ads, and that's just kind of like how it works, and that's just not equivalent. And of course it's like not an equivalent scenario, but I feel like this game should have been more than a browser if they wanted to release it for $30. That they needed to do something else. Yeah. I get, yeah, like this is Chromium. Like this is just a browser in an like free and open, using a free and open source system to make browsers, which doesn't feel awesome because like the actual $30 thing that they gave away, or they started selling, took them so little work, and there's so little like done to make it nice that I feel like it could have been quite a lot better. No matter how hard I try, I bring them up. Corey Pixel, I don't know what you're saying there, because I think that's your first message. But welcome to the stream, and maybe explain a little bit more, and I can kind of I can understand a little bit better. Hang on real quick. I'm learning to fly a helicopter. You press the keypad, and a set of buttons on the dashboard begins to light up. Read the message I posted before. Oh, you posted a message before? I'm trying to find it. Da, 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 da. All right, thank you. It might have gotten like auto deleted. If you had a link in it, it might have gotten auto deleted by YouTube, so we didn't get to see it, or something like that. Or if it's just like, so yeah, some things just like don't end up in the chat. You say waving hand, backhand, middle finger emoji. What are you doing? Mary asks you. Chart changing. Can I talk to you? Yeah, Mary talks to you in the stall. Is this an AI dungeon scenario that you're putting out with those emojis? Not really sure. Oh my god. That sounds so invasive. and unpleasant. Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's one thing if someone like doesn't know you're in there and just kind of like pushes on the stall door and is just like, whoops, and then closes it immediately. It's another thing if it's like, no, I have the right to be in here right now. Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh no. Parent. Yeah. Ugh. In one of mine, a person runs and just did. In one of my runs, a person just did not die. You like tried everything you could to kind of end it. One of the reasons they stopped using GPT and Dragon was because AI, OpenAI didn't want their AI to be used for games or fun, which is honestly petty. Yeah, I think there's a little bit more to it than that. I think uh, they were like very against anything related to not safe for work content, and AI Dungeon doesn't filter against that too aggressively, and so it kind of lets people like create some potentially fetish scenarios or things that they can do in text, and OpenAI wanted none of that, but they knew it was happening, which means that like the and so they like complained and did work to stop it, and then the AI Dungeon community got like, I thought my scenarios were private and no one can see them, but it turns out the OpenAI people could, and so they like weren't handling privacy in a way that Latitude was happy with or that the community was happy with, but also like GPT-3 and OpenAI models are kind of, generally speaking, some of the best models out there, and so people were like disappointed by the rollback out of those, and also it needed to happen and they wanted it to happen, and so there's like a whole controversy around that because it was such a mess. But yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that fiasco. Yeah, I wasn't really like playing AI Dungeon at the time. I like played for a little bit of GPT-3, and then it just kind of got removed because they got access to the AI 21, which is the new one they use for Dragon, and that yeah, I personally came on AI Dungeon right after this. Yeah, I was excited because like GPT-3 and AI like I wanted to try GPT-3 and AI Dungeon just kind of got it, and I was like, okay, now's my time to. And that's kind of when I boarded the game, and yeah, and it was GPT-3 at that point. Like GPT-3 is a really impressive language model, and now you can use it again. Like I don't think it's that difficult to be able to just kind of go on to OpenAI's demo website and pay OpenAI directly to be able to generate GPT-3 results. It's not AI Dungeon, it's not fine tuned for like choose your own adventures, but it's still fun and interesting. I realize that I haven't like touched the actual visible thing that people are looking at on stream, so it's just like my voice is the star of the show right now. But hopefully that doesn't offend anyone. Come on, get to learning how to fly a helicopter. Yeah, thank you, Country Balls. Get us back on track. I appreciate it. All right, back to learning our helicopter. So you stare at the dashboard, which now displays a map and various gauges. Let's mash some buttons and dials randomly, right? Hi, Edward. We're having fun. This is the AI Dungeon Steam version, so we have unlimited access, or anyone who buys it for $30 now gets unlimited. Ooh, what does this button do? Boom! Exactly. Look at this dial pad. That's amazing. Unlimited access to the Griffin model. They have AI Dungeon 2D, plus they're like adding more and more things. Have you seen Novel AI's image generation? Yeah, that is what's it called? That's the new diffusion model that Carlos was kind of, or yeah, it's like it's the same as the new stable diffusion. It's the same model. And I'm in the Discord for that. I can't generate anything yet. They haven't opened it up to people, but it seems like I will be able to in the near future. And it has some really impressive results. All right. You mash some buttons and dials randomly, trying to figure out how to fly this thing. You're gonna have to do it, the man says. No, 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 you exclaim, trying to follow the directions on the gauges. You give up flying the helicopter correctly. Trying to fly the helicopter correctly. And Novel AI has an advanced version that gives insane results. Yeah, so Stable Diffusion is the advanced version that came out or that was finished 1 a.m. not last night, but the night before. That's how recent the latest version is, and it's going to be really cool, and it's also going to be open source. So in the next 2 to 3 months, pretty much every AI art generation tool will use Stable Diffusion as a backend, which is exciting. Give up flying, or give up trying, not trying, flying. Give up trying. Yes. Stop randomly pressing buttons, just freak out and bash the dashboard. Hit it with a hammer. Thanks, Edward. Hitting it with a hammer as necessary. We'll see what that does. Shoot the dashboard with a gun. Oh my god. We're scientists. We don't have a gun. We have a backpack and solar-powered batteries. And in our backpack is a what was it called? A broken unknown forceonometer, which was really useful for a couple seconds. You punch it with a hammer, and the helicopter starts soaring through the air. Come on, the man says as he tries to follow you. You navigate quickly through the city seats, occasionally hitting a button to adjust your altitude. I never thought I'd say this, but I miss the days when I used to work for the NSA. Catsper, you're bored? I'm sorry. So the Steam version has pictures. Yes, the Steam version has AI Dungeon 2D and as much of it as you'd like, and it comes along with the Griffin model. So yes, hi Zenu, welcome to the stream. Get in a fist fight with a now sentient dashboard. I never thought I'd say this, but I miss the days where I worked for NASA. Now it's time to distribute the cure. I imagine so. Maybe my assistant will do it. Cure to what? Oh, yes, Edward. So this is the zombie apocalypse. We have kind of gone to... isn't AI Dungeon 2D supposed to be free? Yeah, so I think kind of at the same time they released it to everyone, but it's only free for as many actions as you get until you have to watch an ad again. Whereas on Steam, you get as many as you want forever. It just keeps coming. The other thing that's happening is... Latitude is going to keep adding to this library of how many images and what images are there, and so it's going to get quite a lot bigger quite soon, and the free version isn't going to be included, but this traveler model, the number of images that you get is going to go up with those updates that they make. And so on Steam, you'll get all the images. On the free version, you'll only get the images you see right now, kind of in the long-term future. You say, now it's time to distribute this cure. Spread the ashes. You continue to fly the helicopter through the city streets, occasionally having to make an emergency landing. This is the emergency landing button, the man says, pointing to a button on the dashboard. You press the button, the helicopter's wheels kick out, allowing it to land on the roof of a nearby building. I feel like wheels won't help land a helicopter. I think that's new. Hi, Yakuza, welcome back. What are we doing? Yeah, we're just, I think you witnessed me explaining the scenario of kind of this zombie apocalypse that we're trying to save. And so basically what happened was we murdered someone who, probably an insane guy who thought he was the ghost of some vampire lore charmer. And we murdered him by setting him on fire because he was like, set the temples alight, and we held up a match to his temples, and he's like, yeah, do it, you won't. And so we did, and we decided his ashes would probably be the cure. And have you tried the Griffin beta? I actually haven't tried the Griffin beta at all yet. I should. I don't know if that's something that's free right now to people, or it's something you get right now for people who have Steam. I kind of want this stream and this VOD to kind of show the stuff that comes with Steam. What'd you say, Kylie? You can use the Griffin beta with Steam? All right, yeah, so what you'll have to do to get it then is enable beta features right here. So over here on this right-hand side, enable beta features, and then go right over to the model here and select Griffin beta. Why don't we give this a try right now? So this is now no longer with the old Griffin model. This is with the new AI-21 powered one. AI-21 is the same AI behind Dragon, but I imagine this is a version of that Dragon model with less parameters. So Dragon has like 178 billion or 180 billion parameters, which is a ton of training and a really expensive model and costs a lot of GPU to run. And this Griffin one probably is less, I'd guess like 6 or 7 billion. Billion B. Yeah, still massive numbers. Hash browns are bussin'. Nice. Yakuza, was that a helpful rundown now that I've given it? That's our zombie apocalypse right now, and we are trying to spread that guy's ashes that we murdered because we think that he's the cure, even though that would be weird, right? He just kind of said he was the cure, so I was convinced, and the story seemed to let me go with it. You press a button, the helicopter's wheels and land on the roof of a nearby building. You pull out a hose. And spray the city with the cure to the zombie apocalypse. No matter how slowly I type, I still spell apocalypse wrong. This also becomes the ravings of a madman, so this could also be a sham. Yeah, I think this cure probably shouldn't work. There. Now all the zombies are cured, you say. Or you put a hose and spray the city down to cure the zombie apocalypse. There. All the zombies are cured, you say. Good job, the man says. Now you're the genius who figured out how to fly a helicopter, you say. It's all the same to me, the man says. Well, technically, he was an immortal vampire, so we could be turning zombies into resistant vampires. I guess vampire ghost blood is the cure to the zombie apocalypse. I actually don't know yet. There's probably still zombies down there. Go down and meet the former zombies. Well, technically, hey, oh, you just said that? Or I just said that. I read that message already. That's my point. I'm back. My phone died. Welcome back, country balls and stuff. What is a country ball? Is that like stickball? Classic country sports. You go down and meet the former zombies. You climb out of the helicopter and run into the former zombies. Hey, zombies, you say. Hey, they say. How you all doing? Good. Here, take my cure, you say, and pull out the hose. Thanks, they say. You all don't need any help? No, we're fine. What a boring conversation with zombies. Can I retry that and hope that this model comes up with something a little more fun? No, we're good. You sit on the ground, the former zombies run up to you. We were once victims of the zombie bag. Oh, it actually does work. Now we are healed. Well, good thing you're cured because the cure is right here. And you pull out a hose and spray the former zombies with the cure. Again. And again, just to remind everyone, the cure is ashes. I think that's what we've set up here. Now, country balls are country balls, if you know what I mean. Oh, thanks, Yakuza. It's a circle with a big flag in it. Then those things, country balls, talk to each other and make jokes and do stuff. Your food might taste like ashes for a couple weeks. How big was this vampire? That's a lot of ash. Yeah, we sprayed the whole city with ash. It was kind of amazing. I imagine we diluted a little bit with sawdust. And so it was like 1 part dead guy and 100 parts sawdust, and then just sprayed it down that way. That's my best guess. Your food might taste like ashes for a couple of weeks, but a small price to pay. Am I right? All right, chat, start thinking about what scenario we need to play next. We did just kind of cure the zombie apocalypse, so I feel like we handled this one. So if you guys have an idea about what we might want to play, all right, we won, huzzah. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Your food might taste like ashes for a couple weeks, but small price to pay, am I right? Yes, you're right, the man says. You're amazing, you say. Yeah, well, I have a knack for finding things, the man says. What exactly do you hope to find, you ask? A cure, the man says. For the zombie virus? No, not for the zombie virus. For the vampire virus! Dun, dun, dun! What a twist. We cured the zombie virus by turning everyone into vampires because we sprayed them with the juices of a dead vampire. Oh my god. Let's make another world together. We have some new people who might not have been able to experience that. That's pretty true. Yeah. And we can do that in the AI dungeon release on Steam, which is cool. Medieval kingdom under attack by Vikings. Your ship is eternally falling in the world of Sky Islands, so you have infinite time to fix it. The problem is no one knows how. Spooky. Medieval kingdom under attack by Vikings. I wonder, that's not an easy thing to merge, except if the Vikings are the ones who broke your ship and sent you to an infinite time paradox. Grim, dark fantasy, horror, magic, war. It's quite a combination. I feel like Edward has a pretty fledged out concept here. Kind of, what do you think? Should we try to turn that into a story? Alexis, your world starts glitching like a simulation. Ooh. Oh, you're on board with Edward's thing? Aren't there stories that people can make and we can play? That's true. Yeah, so like there's some stories that show up in like Discover. And so we can kind of find one here and just kind of play it. Almost a zombie apocalypse. You, a random grad student, are one step away from creating a worldwide zombie apocalypse. You just need to accidentally spill the vial sitting on your bench. Includes a semi-realistic description of a potential zombie virus. I have like 1 million published scenarios on my account if any of you want to check it out sometime. Carlos, what's your account? Can I find you on Discover here? Or what's a scenario you think we might want to try? I know there's one that gives you ideas if you give it parameters. I think I put all those letters in, Carlos. How does multiplayer work? Basically, multiplayer lets anyone who's in the game set up. Yeah, I think it's like kind of a pain to find scenarios of people who don't work. But Edward, the like multiplayer is basically anyone who's in the game, and you can join the game by like entering this code or inviting someone and having them like join the game. And then anyone who's in the game can take an action at any time. So if you're playing out the scenario, you can like, oh, I do this, and it happens in third person. So instead of I do this, it's Alexis does this, Edward does this, and so it kind of like works in that way. And so it switches from the you oriented to the third person oriented, and then it's just so it like asks you who you are playing as, and then you can say and do things kind of however you want. And it's just one person types something, and after anyone says or does anything, the AI fills in the rest. And that's kind of the flow of the game. Make a multiplayer game so we can all play D&D AI dungeons together. Yeah, that could be cool. I feel like that's a little out of the scope of this stream, but I know you were working on a like AI D&D concept. If that's ready, we can kind of make that its own stream at some point, and we can kind of get that set up together. We can talk about that in the mod chat, Yakuza, because I think that would be fun. The search system is still broken. You really can't search for people on it yet. That's unfortunate. Yeah. Yo, that sounds epic. What Yakuza's talking about, or what I was describing multiplayer to be? Let's kind of go at it this way. So we'll kind of set up Edward's scenario. You are stuck on a ship. And so we're in Griffin beta now, by the way, if anyone's keeping track at home. You are stuck on a ship. Let's kind of understand what this... You're stuck on a ship that is... You're stuck on a ship that is going through an eternal time loop. Eternal time loop. And I'm going to do an airship. While you were flying to one of the yeah, that could be fun. I remember once when once in a run, all of the AI people started talking in the third person. Yeah, that can just kind of happen spontaneously, and once it starts, it just kind of switches. Second airship going through an eternal time loop while you were flying to one of the Sky Islands. A time vortex. took hold of your ship and you got stuck there. I put the glitching world prompt in Discord if you want. Oh, that'd be cool. You were on you. Because for me, it'd be to make a world, I'd rather have to copy and paste a preset prompt with our characters, and I'd probably have to be the host. That does make sense. Yeah. All right. So you're stuck on an airship that's going through an eternal time loop. While you're flying to one of the sky islands, a time vortex took hold of your ship, and you got stuck there. You wander through the endless corridors, and after some time, you stumble upon a doorway. That's not really the scenario yet, is it? So now we need to kind of add a little bit to it. The ship is devastated. I could DM if y'all want. Glibetry could be a player. Yeah, that could be cool. We'll talk about that in the mod chat, and we'll kind of like figure out how we want to do that next stream. But I think that could be fun, Yakuza. And if it's like just you DMing and like Kylie, Mike, and I playing, that could work too. Or we could get some people from chat in. I know Red was interested in potentially like joining a game like that, or just kind of thinking about how do we make it big enough to be fun for stream, but not so big that it puts a lot of work on you. The ship is devastated, and the only way out would be to repair and could always communicate through a Discord server. Yeah, that would be the way to do it. This sounds epic. Edward's on board. Love to see it. Yeah, no, I bet it would be really cool. I was thinking some people from chat, maybe 3 or 4, then me, you, and Kylie. Yeah. That could be cool. Ship is devastated, so the only way would be able to repair the ship. The only problem is no one on board knows how. Oh, we jumped up to 12 likes, I just noticed. Thank you so much for liking the video. My chat or my likes button is behind. Oh, 14. Oh my god. Oh my god, 15. Every single like on the video. I appreciate every single one of you who kind of are coming, hanging out, watching us play some AI Dungeon, and 15. Wow. Thank you guys so much. I do really appreciate every single one of you who likes the video, every one of you who's here, and it's so nice that I'm able to kind of do this and people show up and we have fun and do fun things. That's awesome. Oh, it went down. Oh no, somebody unliked the video. It's a secret. Somebody unliked the video so that they could later on, when the time depends on it, can click like again so that they get control over making me announce it. So now that we're back down to 13, I see on my screen, so they can click it again and go 14, and I'll thank them again, and we kind of they can interrupt the whole flow of the stream by just clicking like and unlike over and over again. But maybe I've outsmarted them, and now the 14th like doesn't mean anything anymore, and I won't do anything about it. Doesn't even matter. TBH, we have a pretty good growth rate. Yeah, that last video I posted did super well, and the stream has, a bunch of people hanging out and a bunch of people chatting, and I appreciate all of you who have made it out here and are hanging out with us and watching me play AI Dungeon in a sporadic way and get distracted and talk about all sorts of different AI Dungeon related stuff or non AI Dungeon related stuff, and it's been a good time. Vibin', yeah. The only person on board was the pilot. However, there's no chance of you getting off the ship because every time you try, the time vortex gets stronger. You're thinking, I should just kill myself. You drink poison, you die, you wake up. That clearly didn't work. I don't love that strategy that Griffin Beta came up with, but I guess that's the first thing to try. Well, that didn't work. You go back to sleep, you wake up, you drink poison, you die. I don't need to have that refresh and just like say the same thing over and over again. I really hate when the AI does the stuff you were just doing. Yeah. You ask the pilot what you could do. He tells you, we need to repair the engines. You say, who do we have on board that can help? No one. We're the last people on Earth. Oh my God. You say, how are we going to repair the ship? He tells you, we're going to need to fix the clocks first. You say, what's the clock? Obviously, I've never heard of clocks before. I'm just the captain of some ship. The pilot says, it's this big thing with hands on it, and you should know what a clock is, my guy. What's it doing? It's running the ship. Oh, I guess it's a pilot. What's happening? You ask, what's it doing? It's running the ship. You say, how do we fix it? The pilot says, I don't know. You say, I'm going to do the research. You go to the internet, you do some research, you find a local company, you make an appointment, you go there, you talk to the receptionist. She says, we can fix your clock in 3 to 6 business days. The scenario may have gotten Griffin Beta a little bit confused, but I'm curious to see where this goes. You say, no, we want it now. She says, why? Because I don't want to die. She tells you, well, we don't open today. You say, well, give us some more time. And then you say, well, give us some more time again, which I'm going to undo. You return to the eternal ship crash. Ship crash. And tell the crew your news. Oh, that was meant to be a do, but I typed all the words that this should be just fine. Yes, the company on the ship. Yeah, most likely. Also, there were no humans left on Earth except the people on the ship, so that's kind of how it all went. Also, after stream, I'll link a series of people playing multiplayer AI Dungeons so y'all can get a good and decent feel of what we'll be doing. All right, that'll be cool. So we can kind of see what it means to have someone DM an AI Dungeon scenario. That could be fun. Just so like we kind of know what it's going to be. And we'll probably need to coordinate who is actually playing through the Discord, Yakuza. So you kind of like need to get people on board, and then whatever you need from me to like set up a voice room or something to kind of make it work so that we can kind of do it on stream. That should work pretty well. Wyvern and Hydra is giving me some serious repetition. Yeah, you can mess with this. I think your presence penalty, you might want to try moving up if you don't like repetition. And that's kind of the big one. So that raises the penalty for tokens appearing more than once. And so tokens could be a word or multiple words or a part of a word depending on whatever's actually happening. But that'd be the advanced setting to kind of mess with if you want to try to fix that, Carlos. I'm on board and I'm also in the Discord, so you're so excited for this. Perfect. Da-da-dum. Now we want it. Why? Because I don't want to die. She tells you we don't open today. You return. You have to fix the clock. How? He says. I don't know. You have to try. Yeah, I feel like Griffin Beta is not doing what we want to do. It's just like, it's come up with a format, and it's just doing that over and over again. I'm going to try raising the randomness. Oh, wait. I can leave this high. I'm going to try raising the randomness to the default again and seeing if that fixes it. Liberty, maybe you can use Mid-Journey stuff so we have pictures of characters. Yeah, absolutely. No, I can totally do that. You let me know, like, or as we talk about it on Discord, kind of like when people have characters, I am absolutely up to make characters for us. That could be very cool. I've actually done that for my Dungeons and Dragons game that or like the actual like Dungeons and Dragons thing that I'm in. I made all the characters in our game so that everyone has a profile picture that works. Yeah. Speaking of, have we posted that latest reel with the character pictures? Oh no. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm going to retry now that the randomness is kind of back up to default, and maybe that'll work better with the Griffin beta. Honestly, that's already better. Like, it's not awesome, but it's kind of like, this is just like repetitive, and now it's like doing something a little different. So I guess that might be another thing to try, Carlos, is just putting your randomness up a little bit, and that can also help the kind of final output. The captain is shocked. We'll go there tomorrow. You say, no, we'll go now. The captain is angry. We're going to die. You say, you want to go back? It's like, yes, then go. The captain's angry. Well, we didn't want to. Okay, whatever. Let's steal from the receptionist and get all the tools to fix the ship. How's Chipotle, by the way? Incredible. Perfect. Yeah, they probably do a good job with like having the vegetarian stuff not touch anything that isn't vegetarian stuff, unlike most fast food that like, oh, we have oil that we fry our chicken nuggets in and we use the same ones. You take the receptionist's phone, you check her email, you find all the emails she's been sent, you take all her money, you leave, you go to the local company, you use the tools to fix the shop, you fix the time vortex, you arrive back in the ship, you tell the captain the news, he says, is this true? Wow, this worked really well. This AI is very much on our side. Go for it. Ah, classic. So long, Reigns. Nice to see you. Thanks for showing your face or the closest on stream. Do you want to quickly shout out your stream later? Yakuza, your job is to get the link in our chat so people can go follow over there. But Uh, what do you mostly stream? Perfect. So long. And I'm often on those streams. So if uh, you end up tuning into an Overwatch game and I'm playing Overwatch, you'll get to witness my top tier Overwatch gameplay. Not top tier at all, but you know, plat. Almost. Sometimes not plat, but we strive for plat. That's kind of where we end up being. Roll 20 online D&D. Yeah, that'd be cool. Why don't I actually, if you can't at the moment, Yakuza, I'm happy to grab that link. So anyone who wants to follow Reigns, that's where it's done. Reigns better than most of our teams. Yeah, so true, so true. Bye, Reigns. All right, where were we? We were just winning this scenario here. Would you ever be down to play a Roll20 campaign if we had enough people interested on the Discord? Yeah, I could probably play one. I don't know if it's something we'd end up streaming. You know, YouTube doesn't really deal with like long series in the same way, but it's still a fun thing to do, and I like Dungeons and Dragons, so that could be fun, especially if the stream goes well and we're all like having fun and want to do it more. That could be a good idea. Yeah, but let's organize that on the Discord and kind of see what's going on. And of course, if anyone needs the link to the Discord, it was Yakuza posted at some point, but I can kind of grab it again. Ba-bum. Invite. This is our Discord link if anyone wants to participate in that. So in this game, we just kind of let it win. We return to the internet, you research how to fix the ship, find a big metal box, you take it. I feel like we handled this. Unfortunately, this model didn't give us a lot of the craziness that we're typically used to. I might even pump up the randomness a little bit more and see if that kind of helps. And let's try another scenario. Alexis put one in the Discord for us to kind of use. Wait, did I put the... Oh, you have an idea, Country Balls? I think I was going to take Alexis's scenario here. You were sitting in the room with strange noise. That should be fine. Yeah, if you wanna paste one that I can kind of use pretty quickly. I felt bad for the last one where I kind of spent a while uh, typing one up and then it didn't turn into a scenario. It just kind of happened for a while. Yeah, I spent a long time writing it up and it didn't take I didn't get together. So like having a whole prompt to just kind of paste in makes it a little easier. So let's kind of go through and see what we have here. So you were sitting in your living room when you hear a strange noise outside. You go up to investigate and saw that the trees were shaking and the skies was a strange color. You went back inside to get your phone and to record what was happening, but when you looked at the screen, it was all static. You tried to turn it off and back on again, but it was no use. You could hear people screaming and car alarms going off in the distance. You knew something was wrong. The world was glitching more and more. Buildings were disappearing and reappearing. People were suddenly disappearing in mid-step, but the sky was constantly changing colors. You didn't know what was happening, but you knew you had to find out. You started walking towards the center of the town where you knew there would be more people. As you got closer, you could see that the town was in chaos. People were running and screaming, and the ground was shaking. You hear a loud boom and saw a building collapsing in the distance before stopping mid-fall for it to then go back to normal. You kept walking, trying to get closer to the center of town. As you got closer, you noticed there was more and more buildings collapsing. But some were levitating, some were falling, and some were half in and half out of the ground. You saw someone falling, but the ground was moving so fast that you couldn't make out what they were falling over. You kept walking, getting closer to the center of the chaos. When you got there, you noticed there was a crowd of people, all staring at you. I've done something like GMing. It was a role where I was a storyteller and people could interact with the world that were with stories, but there were no dice. And that's kind of what AI Dungeon GMing would end up being like. So that would be kind of, I think at least for a stream, I think you're well suited to kind of lead that for us, which would be quite fun, Yakuza. I don't know if we will end up wanting to kind of do a dry run with everybody before the stream and then kind of take it to the stream with everyone afterwards. However it ends up working, just we'll figure it out. Can someone explain to me why the world is glitching out? Like, that's something we have to understand, you know? Oh no, someone yelled. Not him! What? You shouted back. Why not me? Because you're a savior, another said. You're a Nobel Prize-winning scientist. You need to keep the world safe. What about the rest of the people? You asked. Are they safe? Oh no. All right, so the whole crowd is in danger, the world is glitching out, and no one is safe, but it's our responsibility to fix it. Well, now I understand. Let's look around for the glitchiest thing. Look around for the glitchiest thing within sight. And see if something leaps out at us as the most glitchy. The worst thing is there's a glitch in the air. You looked into the sky, the colors changed, and you saw all the glitches were flying around you, flying into you and levitating. I want that glitch, you scream. I want that glitch! You ran towards the glitch, and when it saw you, it flew up into the air, and levitating, you grabbed it and yelled. And also, if anyone wants updates on the Discord, not right now, obviously, you can ask me how it's going. I'll probably respond within at least 2 days. Perfect, Yakuza. You grabbed it and yelled. This is the answer. Basically, a glitch is a monster here. Perhaps. I will take this to my lab and find a way to save the world. I kind of get that sense, Alexis. It's like, oh, you can kind of just like grab one. I thought it'd be like, oh, there's some rock that is super glitchy and I want to take the rock to my lab. But instead I just kind of reached up and grabbed one, which, you know, that's valid. You suddenly got sucked into the glitch. And when the world went black and when you woke up, you found yourself in your lab. You tried to look up, but you were trapped inside a giant tube. You tried to turn around, but the tube was too small. You tried to move, but the tube was too narrow. You tried to scream, but the tube was too small. You tried to panic, but but the tube was too small. You felt yourself floating towards a bright light. Oh my god, spooky. All right. Reach for the light. Oh no, it's a tube slide. Reach for the light. Hoping back to a normal form. As you touch the light, you're transported to a different room, or to a different form. You are now an ape. You quickly looked around and saw that you're in a huge cave. You tried to run, but you were stuck. You looked around and noticed that your hands and feet were no longer there. You tried to scream, but you were stuck. You looked all around and saw that the caves had cracks in it. You tried to walk, but you were stuck. You looked around and saw the cave was falling into darkness. Terrifying. Trying to think how I feel about Griffin Beta. It's like not falling into a repetitive trap where it like gets stuck forever, but it really likes repetition. It seems to just, like seeing this, you try to do this, but the tube was too small. You tried to do this, but the tube was too narrow. You tried to do this, but the tube was too small and too small and too small. And now we're back to like, you tried to scream, but you were stuck. You looked around and you did. It's like, it's kind of an almost repetitive, painful scenario here, but it doesn't get stuck, which I appreciate. Maybe we need something a little shorter. I think it might just be too much text for this model to kind of keep alive. I'm just going to lower down the response rate to like 55. Let's see how that goes kind of with a few more generations. You reached the light, hoping it would bring you back to a normal form. You looked around, you saw the cave was falling into darkness. We're like in a trippy dream state right now, and I feel like there's not a lot you can do when you're in a trippy dream state, but let's kind of story this. Eventually, the dream state ended, and you were back to your normal self. Eventually, after a number of these glitches, the dream state ended and you were back to your normal self. The only thing that was different in your lab was... So while we're all responsive, should I do a find an artifact type story, or a defeat a BBEG? Not sure what that means, Yakuza. If I stream Novel AI sometime, would you guys watch it? Perhaps people would watch it. I think it's probably not great form to post that sort of thing in like in a stream chat, like just because it's like it a little bit self-promotion-y. We do have like the self-promotion channel in our Discord, so when you do stream, go ahead and post there, and maybe some people will join, and just kind of like, I think kind of as you build your streaming career, you build your YouTube channel or whatever you end up doing, I think kind of like post and promote in ways that aren't really other people's stream chats. I think just like generally speaking, that's like not an awesome thing to do, just because it like often takes audience from somebody else that they've kind of worked for. No, it's just like a random, a normal thing. I don't mind too much. I'm not like banning you for that, but that's just general courteousness. It's like we've been, I there's only a few people here. We're all friends, but just, I think that's kind of the the classic general form. It's really not a big deal though. Eventually, after a number of these glitches, the dream state ended and you were back to your normal self. The only thing that was different in your lab was that you were carrying a giant glowing egg in your lap. You dropped the egg on the ground. When you look inside, you saw a bright yellow light. I would watch you, Carlos. That's nice of you, Yakuza. You opened the large hatch and the egg began to glow even more. You took a breath and the egg began to glow even brighter. I don't know what the word BBEG means. I feel like I should. Big bad evil guy. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think that makes sense, Edward. It's like finding an artifact. There's like something to do, but it's also forcing you to see all sorts of different things. Whereas going after a big bad evil guy, you're kind of in battle after battle, and it makes it tougher to kind of have a fun adventure moment. And it's really, oh, let's go find it. And you can kind of do it the same way. Whereas for a while, the big bad evil guy is the artifact you're looking for, and it takes some exploration to make that happen. But I think it's harder to make that story as fun. This egg, though. Let's spray some of the egg on one of the glitches to see what happens. Well, we'll vote in Discord, I guess. Yeah, that might be the easiest way to do it. I mean, I could put a poll up, so we could say AI Dungeon D and D. It's like hard for people to type, but a poll is just one question. So the first one is Big Bad Evil Guy. The next one is Artifact. And now we have a poll that people can click on really easily. Robohead could join. I could do it too. Yeah. So we'll kind of let that exist as something people can click on for a little bit. Oh, sorry, I spelled artifact wrong. Artifact hacked. Spray some of the egg on the glitches to see what happens. Let's generate here. You saw the glow from the. Oh, you sprayed some of you sprayed some egg on one of the glitches. It began to glow even brighter. You sprayed some more and continued to glow. You sprayed some more, and the egg began to glow brighter. You sprayed the last bit, and the egg glowed even brighter. You saw the glow from the egg spread over the glitch. Spooky. This is like a complex mystery, Alexis, and I'm not sure how to proceed. You know. All these glitches are combining. I guess they want us to save the world, though, and I'm just some scientist in a lab who won a Nobel Prize, but don't know what to do. Also, the fact that glowing egg is just something that they have as one of the options. You're not sure either? Yeah, I'm like, it's kind of an interesting mystery. Let's see. I don't know. Let's just tell the villagers what I had. Hello, Fluffy Master 23. Nice to see you and welcome to the stream. Tell the villagers about the egg and what you think it can do to save the world. Fluffy Master, right now we are playing the AI Dungeon version that's on the Steam release. So we're currently using the Griffin beta model If you think you might not have access, you should be able to get it just by clicking this beta features here. And so you have access to Griffin and Griffin beta with unlimited, as much as you could possibly want. And it also comes with unlimited AI Dungeon 2D. I did do one in the Discord for people who didn't join the stream. Perfect. So we can kind of like put that poll up for Discord people as well. That's awesome. Whoever eats it becomes God. All right, let me actually read this. You told people about the egg and why you think it might save everyone. People become excited, and soon there are hundreds of villagers surrounding the egg. You sprayed it one more time, and the egg began to glow even brighter. The villagers grasped, but the glow only spread a little bit further. See how wherever the glow touches, the glitches seem to go away. Spooky. What does it mean? Let that generate a little bit more. It says, yes, a villager said. That's amazing. That's the answer. What? The answer to everything. All we have to do is put this egg on a glitch and it will fix everything. But it's weird, another villager said. It's not like a glitch anymore. It's a miracle. The world will be fixed. Yes, you agreed. It will. I told you. This is the answer to everything. You decide to put the egg on just one glitch. When you do something beautiful. Damn it. It actually is a holy egg. Yes, it is, Edward. So true. When you do, something beautiful happens. The glitch starts glowing, and the glitch suddenly begins to change. It started being darker, and then all of a sudden, it bursts into flames. When it stops burning, it was no longer a glitch. It was a man. The man looked around and saw that the villagers were overjoyed. Ba-da-da-dum. Very cool. Glitch starts growing, and the glitch suddenly begins to change. It starts being darker, and then it bursts into flames. I'm trying to what does this mean? When it stopped burning, it was no longer a glitch. It was a man. So the man was turned into a glitch, and we saved him. Yeah, Alexis, I think you're right. I think that's what happened. The man looked around and saw the villagers were overjoyed. We have now saved one. Which means now we can save them all. Dun dun dun. That's right, you yelled. The world will be fixed. I can feel it. How? Because I have a feeling. A feeling? The man suddenly looked up, and suddenly a massive explosion rocked the world. Uh-oh. Massive explosion can't be good. You and the man rushed outside and saw that you were covered in flames. You fell to the ground, and the man looked at you. Please don't die, he begged. Please. It's all right, you replied. I got you. No one will ever hurt you again. I'm so confused. This is like wrecking my brain. That's right. The world will be fixed. I can feel it. How? Because I have a feeling, you said. A feeling? The man looked up, and suddenly a massive explosion rocked the world. You and the man rushed outside and saw that you were covered in flames. You fell to the ground. The man looked at you. He's like, don't die. And then I'm like, it's all right. No one will ever hurt you again. Is he glitched? Maybe? But I'm on fire and dying. And in this me like saying, I have saved you? As you lay on the ground, burning. You knew. I missed a vowel there. Hopefully the AI figures it out. As you lay on the ground burning, you knew that you and the man were going to die. You both looked at the sky and saw that the sun was shining for the first time in years. Maybe it's glitching fire and it's not actually burning. I don't know. It looks like we're both going to die, but I think we saved the world, which I think is probably the the goal here. I think we may have to close that one out in a moment. You and the man both smiled at each other, and the man started to cry. I want you to live, you whispered. I want you to live. You're a good man. Save yourself. Eat the egg. All right, let's do it. You save yourself by eating the egg. We'll see if we become a god. I feel like it's kind of likely. You slowly sat up, but you were burnt to a crisp. The egg was still in your lap, and the man was alive. I want you to live, you replied. I want you to live. You ate the egg, the man said. It makes you immune to glitches. That means I can fight them. I can stop the glitches forever? Yeah, you had the best idea. That works so well. Is Sparrow still here? I'm not sure. I haven't seen him chat for a little while, so he might have had to drop off. Yes, you whispered. It does. I'm a scientist, and I know what I have to do. You grab the egg, and the man watched you. You open the egg. Inside, you notice a bright light. You took a huge gulp, and the egg fell into your stomach. Suddenly, a bright light Suddenly, a bright light engulfed you, and you were suddenly in your lab. When you looked outside at your window, you were amazed. The world was glowing, and the glitches were gone. You looked at your egg, and you were covered in fire. You tried to escape, but the fire was too hot. You tried to scream, but the fire was too hot. You died. You died. But you also knew the world was saved. That was my the end moment. I don't actually need that last one. I didn't want it to generate anything. I just wanted to end it there. We did so well. This stream, how long is it? We've gotten to a little over 2 hours. I may think about calling this there. I don't want the VOD to be like too long. I want it to be kind of consumable. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. You guys were a blast this stream. I really appreciate everyone for being here, and I think we had some cool adventures on AI Dungeon through this on the Griffin model. I think Griffin is still fun. I think it still has some pretty impressive results, and it's just like kind of really cool. But great stream. Thank you, Carlos. I appreciate it. And yeah, I think there's some good stuff to come out of it. I'm not sure. I kind of said at the beginning that I would talk about how I felt about this, and direct message me on Discord and tell me your backstories. Okay, is that to everyone, Yakuza, or for making characters in the D&D game? Because we can try to have everyone do that. Au revoir, goodbye in French. Thank you, Alexis. I appreciate it. I took in elementary school, I took a couple of years of French, but not a ton. I do know au revoir though. Well, what's the setting first? Which setting? Oh, right, yeah. So Yakuza, you might have. I understand now. Yakuza, you might have to tell us the setting, so we can kind of have a sense of what characters to make, if that makes sense. So maybe work on that first, and then post in the Discord about it. Do you want a thread specifically for AI D&D, or maybe we could you know what? I think it's probably fine if you go ahead and use general for that, Yakuza. I think that's going to be fine for the game to be able to just everyone's in general. Everyone will kind of have the conversation, and if anything gets lost, we can put some info in announcements. So just let me know what you want me to post there, or I might have given you access to announcement. I don't remember, but it's kind of anyone who wants to participate, talk to Yakuza, and we'll kind of make that happen. But overall, yeah, I think this is very similar to AI Dungeon, and it really didn't feel very different to playing the Griffin model without it. I think the Griffin model, I see why there's some feeling that people have that it isn't super fun in comparison to something worth $30 to play. But also, the idea that you can use it forever and never have to worry about ads and never have to worry about running out of actions, and to just be able to play the game without thinking about that stuff. AI Dungeon, as the Griffin model, still felt like AI Dungeon. It was a little weird, a little wacky, and a little bit cool. I wish I could have a wish count calculator. I have a wish and a wish count calculator. Oh, that sounds neat. I'm not sure exactly what that means, HQN. Nice to see you. I think we're just kind of closing out stream right now. But welcome. Nice to say hi. I think we're just about dropping off. I was kind of giving some final thoughts about how I felt on the Steam release of AI Dungeon. It's cool. I'm going to kind of put together a video on kind of why the people on Steam don't seem to love it and the people on Reddit don't seem to love it, and kind of a little bit more detailed. My thoughts are still a work in progress, and I'm still figuring out how I feel about it overall, but I think it's been neat. And so I'll put that together. You'll see a video out in the next couple of days. If anyone's watching this VOD and have made it all the way to the end, oh my God, thank you for sticking it out. I appreciate you being here. If you're not subscribed, absolutely hit that subscribe button. And Yeah, that's pretty much it. It'd be cool if there was something only for stream. We could do like a private stream where it's only the people like no VOD after. We just kind of hang out. How many people watch the VODs? Yeah, like when after the VODs go up, I get somewhere between like 200 and 600 views on the VODs. So like people seem to watch them. I don't know how many people actually end up there at the end. I think a lot of people like watch for 15, 20 minutes at the beginning and then it kind of turns into something. But I think some people just kind of like leave it on and let it go for a while. Oh, something, yeah, something unique on Steam. Sorry, I misread it. Yeah, no, uh, I think that would be important, and I think that's one of kind of like my closing thoughts in that video. Again, still working on the script, but I think that's something they should have tried to do of make something that was really part of the Steam release and felt like it was valuable to players and that it would be a fun time. And it's kind of missing that. This kind of just feels like a thrown together browser that isn't super awesome, but maybe could have been. And I think it might have been nice if we got a little bit more out of it. But yeah, thank you all for being here. I'm probably going to go ahead and click that button right now. But this was so much fun. I had a great time on stream, and we will do it again soon. So long. Thanks, everyone.